Welcome, everybody, back to the FieldPulse podcast, the best place for you to upgrade your trade. We're here to help business owners thrive and discuss all things field service industry. I'm your host, Daniel Myers, and today I am very proud to welcome our guest, Lauren Martin. She is our Senior Director of Customer Success. I'm very excited to have you today because you're one of the first people I ever met at FieldPulse. Quick backstory for our audience. I used to own my own business, and when I changed CRM software over to FieldPulse, and I had questions and I had suggestions and I had things that I needed, ideas that I had, that kind of thing, I specifically remember talking to you and Yessie and coming to work here and seeing what y'all do now, what you do every day, your job. Wow. I think we were talking about this earlier maybe I didn't tell you, where I thought, and maybe most people think this, you call into a call center and you get help. You think that we hang up, right? And Lauren and Yessie and your team, you're just getting back to work. When I came to work here, I realized that that's all you do. There's like no, you talk to people all day long.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think that that's what we want customers to think too, right? Like, we are called customer success because we're here to make our customers' lives and businesses successful. So although it's a little chaotic when you peek back behind the curtain, that's the intention, right? We're available for you, we're here for you, and we're here to make your business better.
So talking to our audience and people, whether you use FieldPulse or not, calling in, the customer service, customer success, I don't want to call it an industry, but that line of work, what do you think, kind of talking about some metrics here, like what do you think is a ratio or number of like people calling to complain, people that are super angry, and then we get calls, I know you get calls of people just wanting to be helpful. People wanting, because I did that too when I owned my business. I would call in and make suggestions. Hey, what about this? I see this. I said this a lot when I was talking to you guys when I owned my business, was I see it. Like, I see what's there, but it's not so fluid. So what do you think? Either if you have some metrics off the top of your head, like what do you think is that ratio, that mix of calls?
Yeah, and I think to answer that, it would be helpful to give people a little background into the customer success, customer support world. Okay. So when we think about customer success, that's kind of a phrase that's fairly new-ish. Every industry, every company is going to call it something different. And really, there is two ways to think about it. There is the customer support aspect. Hey, I have a question. I'm a current customer. Basic question. So it's reactive. And then there is the success aspect where it's more proactive. Okay. So there is their customer support team who is always answering questions. We're trying to get back to people really quick. From, volume wise, customer support team is a volume-based team. So they're seeing, and there's generally a number of different avenues that people are contacting a company. So it's, here at FieldPulse, we have a web chat that's pretty much available Monday through Friday. We have, a team overseas that covers our off hours. So our web chat is going to be very high volume. So we're seeing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of chats, right? A lot of times those are just, hey, I can't log in, or hey, I have a quick question. From there, we have a ton of people that we recognize, patterns. Hey, I'm having trouble understanding, how to do this, how to create an invoice. They're not saying, hey, I want to be more efficient creating this. It's like little questions. So at that point, we can say, all right, it looks like they need help with the sales component of their business. So we have a customer success team who can step in, give them a call, proactively reach out and say, hey, I know you've chatted in a few times and you've had questions about this. Wanted to show you different ways to think about how to utilize our product to better your business. So we have the web chat. We have a support email. Again, that's support team. We see hundreds of emails, right?
Funny thing about emails, everybody, I think, everyone thinks that when you write an email to a business, it just goes into like a junk mailbox.
Yeah.
But I think what they don't realize is like, if it, and I'm speaking on behalf of tradespeople, they don't really understand, and I don't, but I speak just enough of the tech language and computer world thing where I understand like masked emails addresses where it can be help or it can be info or something at suchandsuch.com. That doesn't mean that it's going into just a blank inbox that nobody checks. Like usually those is what's the email address for FieldPulse? Is it info or is it help?
It's support at fieldpulse.com.
Okay. So support at fieldpulse.com. That's not a random laptop open on a desk somewhere that nobody ever looks at. Like
we all walk over to it, check it occasionally.
You look at it and like, nothing good in there, and you go back to your own desk. Like, no. That's not the way that works. It's just a masked email that then gets routed to whoever needs to get emails from that email address. But it's a way to gather those in an efficient manner, right? So it actually goes to a live person.
It does. Yes. Yeah. And a lot of businesses handle this differently. I can only really speak for FieldPulse, just given the volume of emails we get. Thanks to tech, we have a system that basically it's a unified inbox. So yes. It goes to the support team and everyone, real people answering those. Just like our support line, right? Yeah. So we got a support line, and I think one thing that's really interesting working in the trade industry is I see a much higher, like I have experience in several other industries and tech specifically, but here at FieldPulse, the trades, they're on a site, like they don't want to wait for an email. They call the support line, and we have a rock star support team that answers our support line, and that's generally the quickest way we're supporting people from a reactive standpoint.